Shadow and I are, well, we don't know where we are. So what started off a little late in the day yesterday was an attempt to find a good rock hounding location. And we entered into the Beaver Dam Wash National Conservation Area, made it all the way through, over through the wash, and then beyond the border of Nevada, and began to look for a good rock hounding site. We stopped and tested some places here and there, and one of the places we tested we found some nice petrified wood. So I thought, all right, let's find a place to camp. So we drove, and 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 there was nothing, no turnoffs off of this road here for miles until we came to this spot. And by the time we came to this spot, it was dark. And there were several turns. So I don't even know if I could find that place before. But we pulled in here, we set up camp. I cooked myself a nice steak. We had dinner, went to bed, woke up this morning. And, you know, we may just be at a decent place. There's all kinds of variety here. And let's walk over here to the truck and I'll just show you what I found just kind of kicking around here, which tells me that this is a place worth exploring. So this I found, let's see if we can kind of show that in the light a little bit. This is either a beautiful agate or an opal. This one looks like a kindred spirit. But both of these, you know, kind of bluish. And then this is microcrystalline quartz mixed with what appears to be iron to me. That should tumble up and be something interesting. And this looks like the same. This could be just quartz rock with iron in it as well. But, you know, I just was kicking around. So I think this place is a place we're going to do some rock hounding. And I don't think we're going to have a lot of time because I see bad weather up in them there hills. So let's do a little rock hounding. There's a little creek bed over there. And I think we'll walk along that. So there is a lot of variety here. I think I'm going to just pick a spot, like right here, and stand and just look, because there's so much to see. And there's something of interest right there. Yeah, that's a small but beautiful agate right there. Let's see if we can find some more bigger pieces like that. Well, right below it. Oh my. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a great big agate. I brought a little water and I actually just filled the bucket. That's what I did. I just put some water at the bottom of the bucket. Yeah, I need to scrub that up, but that is a beautiful agate. Now the question I have is, how was that agate formed? Was it formed in a volcanic host? Was it formed in another host? You know, there's a lot around here. There was past volcanic activity around here. There's been tremendous tectonic forces that have thrust up what were once ancient seabeds. There's been a lot of metamorphic rock. You find a lot of schist and gneiss around here. I mean, it's just a plethora of all kinds of different types of rock. What do we have here? Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of agate in this thing. So do you see the way the rock has a lot of rough pockets and so forth? That is because it took on the shape of its host. This is silica that filled in cavity and crevices of a host. And so that was what the host looked like. And that to me looks like it was probably volcanic. So I'll have to title this video something like rockhounding by blindfolded dart throwing, because that's about what this was. We couldn't find a camping spot, so we just had to keep driving until we finally found one, and that's where we started rockhounding in the morning, and it's a good spot. Yeah, there we go, right there. Oh, it's really nice. Oh, what is he doing? What are you doing? Shadow, whatever is in there, let's just leave the poor thing alone. Whatever it is, it's smart. It's got itself burrowed and hidden in an impenetrable fortress. Leave it alone, Shadow. No, no. Leave it alone. No, no, no. No, no, you're going to cut your eye or something. Come on. No, come on. No. Come, come, come. Oh my gosh. No. Go chase a rabbit. What is that? It's really black. What is that? I'm going to throw it in the tumbler. You know, there's just something crazy about the Joshua tree. I've talked about it before in rockhounding videos that I've made where I've rockhounded around and under them and so forth, but you got to admit they look like something that was designed by Dr. Seuss. Interestingly, I'm finding agates with a bluish hue or deep red, mixed with iron. Both in the same spot. It's really interesting. Yeah. Again, a lot of that bluish hue in it. These are going to polish up beautifully. So we're at a little spot here where the water runs. Ouch! That thing is very prickly. What's under it? I want to say this is a jasper. I think it is. And then I can see even in it some clear silica. That should polish up real nicely too. If you ever come rockhounding, watch out for these guys. Those little points right there, they are sharp and they're very easy to bump into. There's a little jasper right there. Beautiful little jasper right there. Really nice quality, super small. So maybe we can find like a, 2-inch size. Tumbles up really great. Inch and a half-ish, diameter. Look at all these tumbleweeds. All of these tumbleweeds blocking this riverbed here. I saw a video the other day. There was a big windstorm and there was a house that was literally entombed with tumbleweeds. I don't know how they would have gotten out of it. I mean, it was entombed in tumbleweeds. It was crazy. Okay, so this is interesting. Here in the midst of all this is a patch of black rocks. Oh, that's volcanic. This little patch of volcanic rock, even the dirt around it. That's really weird. That, you know, it's just this one little patch right here. Shadow, get out of that. No. Shadow, come back out of there. No. Okay, we've made our way up a bit. Another of that bluish, botryoidal in this case. There's another one. Again, botryoidal. Well, we made it back to the campground. I think what we want to do is drive and investigate a few other locations and, you know, pack up and get ahead of the storm so that if it starts to rain, you know, we can get out of here. But we're going to stop and park right down here and then just walk right up the Beaver Dam Wash, because everything from all the surrounding mountains make their way down into the wash. So it'll be interesting to see what we can find just walking along the wash. So we got to find a place to park here. Okay, let's park here and just walk along, see what we find. Look at all these rocks. I have rock hounded way up through there, miles up there, and everything makes its way down into this wash eventually. So it should be interesting. We should be able to find some pretty cool stuff. So there's a wonderstone right there. What we call wonderstone in this part of the country. It's just a sandstone with limestone, I think, just kind of mixed together. You don't polish those, you don't tumble them, but they're beautiful. I'm gonna take it. That's a piece of botryoidal chalcedony right there. We'll definitely take that. What do we have here? Well, that is one great big agate. Beautiful. Clean that up and show that off, but that is it's a big agate. So there's agate in them there hills. It could be miles away. That's the thing about this. Is a big wash, a big one, and it draws from the mountains for miles all around here that over many years have been eroding, and the dirt and the rocks from those mountains have made their way down here into the bottom of the wash, and they continue to be moved every time it rains, and it rains really hard and the water rushes down. It's torrential and it moves stuff. So whatever we find here, who knows how far away it came from. What do we have right here? Oh, that's a beautiful jasper in there. We will clean that up. We'll tumble that. That's really pretty. Did you help me find that one, Shadow? I think you did. You're helping, aren't you? Oh my gosh, your head is filthy. Oh, he sticks his head in every hole that he finds. But before we go, stormy weather is my favorite. And I lived in Alaska for years, and there's a lot of stormy weather up there. And the poet, Robert Service, he was the one that chronicled the gold rush in poetry. And I've quoted one of his poems before in one of my videos. I'm going to quote one for you because it's fitting. Today is fitting with its stormy weather. And I'll get the fire roaring, and you'll understand why when I quote it. I hope you like it. All right. I think she's getting there. The wind's blowing a little bit, but my mic is on this side of my body and the wind is coming from behind. So I really hope the wind doesn't interfere with this, but wish me luck. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam around the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to grip him like a spell, though he'd often say, in his homely way, that he'd rather live in hell. And on Christmas Day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Oh, talk of the cold. Through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we closed, our lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. Oh, it wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me. "Cap," said he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request." He looked so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of a moan, "It's the cursed cold. It has got right hold till I'm chilled clear through to the bone. Yet 'tain't being dead. It's the awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." Well, pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. We started off at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly and pale. He was lashed to the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death as I hurried horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may tax your bronze and brains, but you promise true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Well, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that load. In the long, long night by the firelight, with the huskies round in a ring, howling out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavier and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent, and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, and I saw in a thrice it was called the Alice May. I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, said I with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coals I found that were lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. Then I burrowed a hole in those hot red coals, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I took a hike, for I did not like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about. Ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked. And the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cozy and warm, in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile. And he said, please close the door. It's fine in here, and I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and the storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake Labarge I cremated Sam McGee.